I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast. Submissive Guide did this overview of some of the ways to use FetLife. Since late 2008, FetLife has proven itself to be a valuable resource for those persons looking for kink advice and learning all about fetishes they may not have even ever considered for themselves. It's also a good place to make friends with local people and organize and attend events. But since the search capacity is limited, it can be very difficult to find the information you may really be looking for. Using the search box. If you know what sort of topics that interest you, then the search box might be helpful for you. The search is used primarily for the following kinds of things: specific people's usernames, groups for every kink imaginable, munch groups, fetishes, events, cons, play parties, munches, and everything in between. Searching specific locations. What you can't use the search for on FetLife is trying to find a user's stats, like searching by height, weight, location, fetishes that you have in common, or other personal ad information. You can't search for group discussion thread topics. You can't search for pictures or videos. Um, let's talk for a moment about using a person's profile. Reading through a person's profile will tell you a lot about what they enjoy, how much experience they have, and also what groups they participate in. The lack of a profile can sometimes tell you that a person isn't really that serious about using FetLife, and that they may just be there to browse pictures and whatnot. You can use their status feed, their activity feed, to read what they're currently commenting on, follow their sites all over the web, and see what events they are planning on attending. The gold mine of information on a person's profile comes from several different places. From groups. The groups list is the first place to look for interesting groups that they are in that you might be interested in joining. Make sure you read the About page with the rules to see if there are any restrictions for joining or participating in certain groups. Add as many groups as you'd like to your own profile by joining the group on the group page. A fetish list. The second place that is an excellent place to search for information is a person's fetish list. You can see what the person's interested in. And if you click on the fetish item, you'll get a comprehensive list of who else has that fetish listed, as well as groups that possibly cater to that fetish or have more information about that fetish. You also have the option to add it to your own fetish list. And we encourage you to do that so you can go back to that fetish at any time and check out the groups listed as they are. You can put that you're just interested in it or curious about it if it's not something that you know yet, whether you're into or not. The most obvious feature for finding learning and information are the groups of FetLife. They're much like individual forums, and each of them is run by members of FetLife. We run several groups in our local area, and then just some educational groups on the web. You can find some of that information and links to our FetLife at www.bdsmunited.com. Every group has different rules and expectations as well as how they're run. So if you find a group that you don't like, you're most likely going to find another group that'll work better for you. Each group has an about page with the rules of the group listed. Make sure you read it before you make a post in the group because there are rules specific to the group listed there. For instance, we have a group where people post a lot of classified ads, and one of the rules that people often overlook is that we require if there is going to be anyone else involved in a scene or in a relationship, that somebody is seeking, that they have to at them. They have to tag that person's FetLife the in the post, so that anyone who that they're looking for can have the knowledge and the awareness of who else is going to be involved. And if they don't post those things and they post an ad, we will remove it and possibly suspend the person from the group. Take your time to read through the red sticky posts at the top of groups for any basic information, topic indexes, and other rules you might need to know in order to post in the group. After you've been on FetLife for a while, you'll likely have a few friends in your friends list. Now you can use the activity feed to develop even more places to learn. The activity feed is the home page of FetLife once you're logged in. You can update it with your status much like Twitter, or leave short comments about your kink life at the top. It shows everything your friends are up to by default, but you can filter it with the options on the left side. We prefer to use the group activity feed most often. That way you can see what all of your friends are busy talking about and join in the conversation, or bookmark it for later reading. We rarely browse the photos area, but there are some very interesting pictures in our feeds from time to time. Many people keep a journal on FetLife. You can use the activity feed to filter to just writing of your friends and keep up with them, and also learn some things that you want to remember for future exploration. You'll also find some educational materials in the notes. After all, the people who do this thing we do are all from very different backgrounds, and we can learn different things from them. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast, where we look at Submissive Guide's guide to utilizing FetLife. There are some solid things there that I haven't even considered for my own browsing of FetLife. My biggest one is that my biggest tip, anyways, is that you can use the activity feed, anyone's personal activity feed, to go all the way back if you want to when they first joined FetLife. You can see everything that they've done, what roles or identities they've changed themselves into, what locations they've been in, what pictures they posted, what comments they've made, what events they've RSVP'd to. You can find all of that, so you can get a really good vetting picture. You can see what kind of groups they've joined, all of that information in a person's activity feed. So it's really great for vetting. As I've said before, I'm Primal Piggy. You can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. It was a joy speaking with you today, and I'll talk with you again soon.